Okay, picture this. You sit down at your desk, you've got a clear goal, a fresh cup of coffee, and you tell yourself, all right, just 1 solid hour of pure focus. But like 5 minutes later, you're gone. You've somehow tumbled down this rabbit hole of notifications and, oh, just one more video. And when you finally look up, the day is totally shot. Sound familiar? Yeah, I thought so. Let's get into it.
I mean, that's the central, really frustrating question, isn't it? You have the ambition. You know exactly what you need to do. You've got the skills. But for some reason, this simple act of just sustained concentration feels like climbing a mountain.
And this just nails the feeling perfectly. It's such a great metaphor for that internal chaos. It's not quiet up there, right? It's this loud, buzzing noise of a million different things. You're constantly being pulled in a dozen directions at once, and that feeling of being completely overwhelmed, that's the real enemy of getting anything done. So let's be clear about something really important. This isn't just about productivity hacks or, checking more things off your to-do list. This is about who's in charge. In a world literally designed to hijack your attention for profit, being able to direct your own focus, well, that's the ultimate form of control over your own life. So why is this so hard? Well, the good news is it's not a personal failing. It's not because you're lazy or undisciplined. It's because there's a fundamental conflict, a battle, happening inside your brain. So let's meet the two players in this fight.
Okay, so check this out. On one side, you have the pilot. This is your prefrontal cortex, the rational, goal-oriented part of you that wants to build the business, write the book, achieve big things. But then you have the monkey. This is your ancient reactive limbic system. The monkey could not care less about your 5-year plan. It only cares about right now, the flashing light, the loud sound, the juicy notification. For thousands of years, this part of our brain kept us safe from tigers. Today, that tiger is a push notification from Instagram.
And here's the monkey's secret weapon, dopamine. See, every time you give in, every time you switch from that hard, important work to check a quick email or scroll a feed, your brain releases a tiny little hit of dopamine. It's this little reward, this feeling of relief. But over time, doing this again and again and again actually rewires your brain, training it to constantly crave the next distraction. And this right here, this is the real cost of that dopamine hit. Multitasking is a complete myth. What you're really doing is task switching, and every time you do it, you leave behind this cognitive ghost, this attentional residue. A piece of your brain is still stuck on that last email you read or that video you just watched, which means you can't ever give your full undivided attention to what's in front of you. You're basically working with a fractured mind. So that's the problem. But you know what? Understanding the enemy is half the battle. We're not going to try to fight the monkey with brute force or willpower. That almost never works. No, we're going to use strategy. We've got a 5-phase plan to gently but firmly put the pilot back in the driver's seat. And here's our roadmap. We're going to walk through each of these steps and you'll see how they build on each other. This isn't just a random list of tips. It's a systematic training program for your brain. We'll start with the world outside of you and then we'll move to the world inside. Okay, phase 1. First things first. We have to accept a hard truth. Your environment will always, always beat your willpower. If you're trying to focus in a room that's basically designed for distraction, you've lost the fight before you've even started. So, you have to be ruthless here, seriously. Studies have shown that just having your phone visible, even if it's turned off, lowers your effective IQ. So get it out of sight. Put it in another room. Create a dedicated workspace. Let's call it a monk mode space that is optimized for only one thing. The goal is super simple. Make it difficult to do the wrong thing and effortless to do the right thing. All right, phase 2. This builds right on top of that last idea. It's about accepting that deep down, we're all kind of lazy. We tend to follow the path of least resistance. So the smart move is to become the architect of those paths. I want you to do an audit of your day. For every bad habit you want to break, you need to add friction. So delete the social media apps from your phone. That way you have to actually log in through a browser. That extra 20 seconds of effort is often enough to kill the impulse. And for every good habit, you do the opposite. You remove friction. If you want to write in the morning, leave a blank document open on your computer the night before. Your goal is to engineer your life so that focus becomes the default lazy choice. Okay, so your environment is clean, your habits are structured, but you still face the biggest hurdle of all, just starting. Procrastination isn't really about laziness. It's often a fear of how massive a task feels. This next technique is designed to completely bypass that fear. Look, don't tell yourself you have to write a 10-page report. That's terrifying. Instead, just tell yourself you have to work on it for 10 minutes. That's it. Anyone can do anything for 10 minutes. But here's where the magic happens. An object in motion tends to stay in motion, right?
Liftoff is the hardest part. Once you've overcome that initial resistance, momentum takes over and you'll often find yourself working for way longer without even thinking about it. Now that we've got you working, we need to make sure you're working smart. And that means respecting your own biology. You are not a computer that can just run forever. You're a living organism with natural, built-in rhythms of energy and focus.
So, your brain works in these natural cycles of about 90 minutes. Think of it like a series of sprints. You go all out. Total, intense focus for a 90-minute block, but then, and this is absolutely the most critical part, you must rest. And I don't mean checking email or scrolling through social media. That's not rest, it's just a different type of work. I mean truly disconnecting for 20 minutes. Go for a walk, stretch, get some water, literally just stare out the window. Let your brain recharge so you can come back strong for the next sprint.
All right, this is the final and honestly the most advanced phase. This is all about retraining your brain's reward system on a really deep level. See, we've become so used to constant stimulation that we've lost our tolerance for nothing. We've lost the ability to just be bored. So here's the challenge. In all those little in-between moments of life, waiting for your coffee, standing in an elevator, eating your lunch, do nothing. Don't pull out your phone, just be there. I promise you it's going to feel super uncomfortable at first. Your brain will be screaming for that dopamine hit, but by resisting, you're actually resetting your baseline. You're teaching yourself that it's okay. And what's amazing is that real creativity, those big breakthrough ideas, they don't come from more stimulation. They bubble up from the quiet, empty space of boredom. So what happens when you put all these phases together? Well, something really profound starts to shift. This stops being about just checking more items off your to-do list. It becomes a fundamental change in how you experience your own life. You stop being a passive spectator, just reacting to whatever dings and buzzes come your way, and you start becoming the active creator, the architect of your life. And this, right here, is the ultimate prize. The ability to be fully present for your work is the exact same skill as being fully present for your life. It's about taking back your attention from all the forces that are trying to steal it and sell it. And this is the payoff. Beautifully said. The world outside doesn't change, but your perception of it does, completely. When your mind isn't fractured into 100 different pieces, you can experience things with this incredible new depth and clarity. You notice more. You connect with people more deeply. You're no longer just existing. You are truly living. So I'm going to leave you with this question. The world is in an all-out war for your attention. It's the most valuable resource you own. Knowing that, and now knowing the strategy to defend it, what's the first step you're going to take today to protect it?